Welcome to the circus. I'm your host, Phoenix Electra. It's Sunday, which means we are in the costume shop to stitch, to bitch, to see what happens. So, we're here. Yay. Yay. I think I had lists of all the craziness, but there was so much I was like, I just can't. So, and I thought we were going to have to open up this concession stand on time. Nobody's bugging me. The boys were outside and are not here right now. So, what's everybody working on? How's everybody doing? We're finally starting to thaw out. Oh, nope, he heard me. He said concession stand. That means we have snackies. I'm glad that today's show is starting off better than, well, yesterday started fine, ended in an absolute disaster. Hello, Allie. Welcome, welcome. So far, less trouble. Alright, we got our thimble. Alright, who needs snacks? No snacks for me. I had breakfast. Hey, little man. We'll get some too. Smirk it right. I heard. Oh, you hurt your. Oh no! That's horrible. Oh. Little dude, get over it. Brave, there's snacks for you. Come on, little dude. Boy cat, are you a boy cat? Oh, that stream didn't start for me at all. 4 hours. Oh no. Rumble's must be doing something in the back end in studio. Which is fine, but I do wish, because I know that they know when they're going to do big updates and when things might be funny. Just let the users know. It's just as well that Dove was there watching, because he came in and said, oh, you're just on the back screen. So I restart everything, think I'm streaming, and 10 minutes later he's like, you are nothing, no audio, no video. Okay. Ugh. Oh, you little boys. And I've heard that the East Coast, my snow has arrived in that direction. And folks are not pleased with that either. Sorry. Can finally, there's still some snow. We're in the shadier spots, but most of it is finally melted. Alright, one more, boys. For you. Yeah, something different today. Hey, William! Welcome, welcome! How have you been? How's your low-buy, no-buy going? Mine's been not terrible, but I've also not been to places that might tempt me. And fortunately, my nearest Joann's is not currently on the chopping block. And I haven't gone to the Goodwill, because I am not in need. And there's nothing I have to have for a project that I don't already have. Okay, so good, congratulations, that is very good. Let me change the angle and zoom in, because today we're going to work on this 10-inch panel that is slowly taking shape. yeah, so I've not been anywhere, and I'm glad that I haven't been to the Goodwill or Joann's. I cut for the dress. I did, where's the sampler? I have the littler section. I measured it and I decreased my width about 50%. I didn't do too many rows because I was like, whatever. It's mostly the width, the shrinkage I needed to know about. So I cut a little bit longer than double by just a couple inches because I can always nip it in. Let's see here, Allie. I go to Jess's Discord and then placed I'm a bad influence in there to listing just while I was watching your stream. I am over 50 machines into it. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. That's one way to move some machines. I got rid of the Discord. I need to go back. I've been setting up my server on Travesty Chat, which is a pretty bare bones Discord alternative where you don't need to have some subscription to some kids game that just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, somebody's gonna have a conniption. Yeah, so we're doing that honeycomb pattern here, and I measured, we're gonna have, I was showing stuff like you could actually see, but the top section is for the neck. I'll gather down the part for the sleeves, and then I'm not gonna have time today and didn't pull out some shiny sparkly things. You get that all the time from all over the world. Yes, you do, Allie. You just show up everywhere, and folks are like, I want what this human has. But I shouldn't. Oh my gosh, so in addition to the $800 Montgomery Ward treadle machine that's available with 2 puzzle boxes, and the wooden one I don't think is complete, I saw a Sphinx and a different table, and they're asking $400 with no attachments. I was like, no, people. Oh well. And when I was preparing this one, I did mark every other row with a different color pen that is not showing up on camera. So I laid it's sheer enough, so I laid it on my big grid mat, marked it. Was everything like precisely precise? No. I was like, nobody's gonna take their ruler and measure the exact distances of my little honeycomb, so it's just gonna be okay. But I think that was helpful so that I know if I get off in the opposite direction. I know, that's what I thought too. I was like, $800 for a Montgomery Ward. I mean, it's nice looking, and they'd refurbished the Singer for $400. They'd refurbished the table, but it wasn't as nice. I was like, no, you folks can't compete with what I already have, and I'm not willing to fork over those prices. So I said no. I even passed up the box of free fabric on Craigslist. I was like, yeah, I don't need anything. I'm good. Because I still need to figure out, my 1 gallon spool, empty spool bag Like, what? Why am I saving these? What am I going to do with them? And why does that make me feel? Alright, let's tuck in and get comfortable. I should move my drink closer. Alright, so I am tying off every manipulation point because I don't want all those running threads on the inside to get snagged, and I know myself, and it would make my tension all funny and wonky. It's much better if I do it this way. So we have 44 inches. Remember, fishing floats for depth. Yes! Oh, that's right. Did say that. I can hand him over because he's all excited to go get his fishing license and go and catch us mountain trout. So, yes. We do have some nice little styrofoam. Excited fishing. And let's see here the thread. I've got this giant spool of brown. Let's see, what is this? Tucked in at a weird angle, and I can't really read it quickly right now. William, what are you working on? Are you still working on this quilted patchwork jacket thingy-mabobbies? Are you making quilted pants too to go with it, and a vest, and a top hat? Inquiring Phoenixes want to know. Let's see here. Anything special about the way I'm doing this? No, I stitch between the dots, pull it tight, take a stitch, and then I knot them off. I do 2 knots, and I am then moving the thread to the wrong side. The snipping section. Now he's outside. It's like the snow broke some of my roses a little bit. That's alright. It's my tea roses, and they grow like monsters. Like there's some that are like 7 feet tall. So I've done 2, so I only have 8 more rows to go. Oh, that coat looks nice. I will have to go check it out. And like all over the place and no place, and ouch. Freaking myself. I know he's just rolling right now. We're just pulling a lot. Circus runs on its own time. Right. The hard part that I'm having now is just that there's quite a bit of fabric to manipulate. I did not cut, right now it's just a giant rectangle. I didn't cut the front bust shoulder section. Okay, so I pull up on the dot, go to the next dot, and I just take it. I guess I'm literally pulling up like 2 or 3 threads. And then if I need to, I push the fabric in the center between the stitch to the back, pull tight, and I pinch it between my middle finger and my thumb. Take a little bite. And then I'm just going to take 1 knot, 2 knots, and then close it off. So it's kind of just like mindless little straight hand stitching stuff, so I think it's going to look cute, and I'm glad I don't have like an entire dress to do either. And I'm also going back and forth about adding the shiny beads or crystals or sequins. I'm not fully committed. I'm like, just get to the end of this section, then you can decide. Because though it would be easiest to do before I made up the garment, I can always go back because I'm not going to. So. No sweet sounds of sewing machines quite yet. I have to keep prattling. But I guess, because I was watching this video about how sewing is subversive, and I was kind of a little irritated, and I'm gonna forget her name. Shakovsky, it's a Slavic name, was trying to say, federally elected official, saying that manufacturing was sexist because it had man in it. I was like, oh my god. Welcome to the circus costume shop where we are subversive by participating in manufacturing of handmade goods. We are showing our politicalness by sewing. Yeah, it kind of, I don't know why, it just bugged me. I was like, what is even happening here? Okay. I accept your challenge. Also, if people are protesting that they want to be catered to, I'm putting in my request for kitchen counters to be set 3 inches shorter and that my feet are able to touch the floor on every toilet seat I ever have to sit on. Because sometimes they don't, and I don't care for that. But then there's also squatting, so you don't touch your family on your toilet seats. Oh, I know, that was like, ugh. We're just here for the sounds of sewing machines. This lady, like, opens her mouth. Sometimes, kids, sometimes I do. What's up, wild fact? Anyways, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was. Yeah, here we're part of the resistance for also in participation of supporting the first illegal alien president of Canada and the United States of the joint. And are Canadians like really welcoming Americans seeking political asylum? I saw the meme about the beavers are getting busy trying to build up bridges to keep Americans out. I don't know. But I am interested to see the big picture that RFK Jr. has in mind. Just curious. I was also curious that the former, second in command for research grants under Fauci just all of a sudden resigned, slipped quietly into the night. Like, huh. That's interesting. But, yeah, we're just gonna keep being the circus because we are in the clown world for sure. We're stitching our way to freedom. We went from the Battle of Snowflake Hill, which we probably need to return to, not for snowflakes, but to finish some stitching. Oh, Allie, your brother will only buy made in Canada now. Like, that matters so much. Oh, good. That's... But that... Right, with the amount of imported parts, that it doesn't... It's like probably closer to what we have here. Sometimes it's assembled in America with parts made all over the place, but go Canada. Yeah, oh, I definitely went shopping for us earlier, and there was no eggs again at the grocery store. And I know I think I'm foreseeing in my little eye that the setups for the large industrial farms, the duck farm that had to call 100,000 birds, but they have a few, some 100,000. I know exactly. Right, the parts are from everywhere. We don't be making all those microchips and small little thing like. Good job, your Canadian brethren. Maybe put some pieces together, but they they didn't. It didn't all come out from the maple sap. Yeah, it. Oh, I was rambling. Something about parts. It'll. If it was worth it, it'll come back. Oh, maybe I should set it on the table so everybody can kind of see better. But those little star honeycomb pieces are starting to pop out, even with just 2 rows. And they marked 10 inches, so that's 9 rows technically. 10 rows technically. I can't remember. It was all I needed when I measured where I wanted it to sit on the rib cage section, to the shaping at the waistline. And in my head, oh, Allie, you know the farm and the trees that make my syrup. I know, that's super awesome. We had to pay $20 for like a liter. Oh, I wish I knew that. Pretty soon it's almost tapping time. Hey Loki, you wanna come hang out with me? On your apples and potatoes. I know where my potatoes come from sometimes because I just go out to the backyard and dig in the potato pot. Because that's where they be hanging out, but they're still kind of little. Getting ready to find the start trays so we can go through the seed selection. I have a couple of fancy flowered seeds that I've been hanging on to for a long time that maybe I should sprinkle just a couple of them. Not all at once, because I like to know that I have them in reserve in the fridge for a really long time. Oh, that was funny too. The Democratic legislatures in the state of Ohio, were they was this a parody? Does anybody know that they were going to propose a new bill that said conception begins at erection? It's like, okay, I'm not keen on that much of a nanny state, and that's just weird, but what do I know? Oh, that's where my brain was. We're going to talk about the back of this dress, because I think it's going to be, in my head it's super low, and we'll throw just a couple of gathers in at the shoulders, and then make like a little V with some beads or some trim or something, and then a long necklace back detail down to the low back. So it's not a wear to work kind of an outfit unless you have a job that's not the job I currently have. So I might just have to finish up the couple of slips and we'll just wear it on the stream. Oh, because big sleeves and an open back with a low cut. That's too many things. So I had also want something similar, more, not differently, with a little bit different, but where was my brain going? Oh, giant puffy sleeves. No, medium sized. I'm not doing that like 1890s, like 1 yard per sleeve, mutton sleeve shenanigans. Just a little extra poof. So then maybe we could do a little band of smocking at the wrists for the little cuff section. I think that would also be cute. I think I want one of the more opaque fabrics. I've got a couple that are like this like liquidy silver color that I'm looking at though. I think I would like for that dress, but first we have to get the smocking done on the one we're working on. This is going a little bit easier in here because I was working, I did about a row earlier. It took me some time, but it was super dark and the lights wasn't good. So I think I'm a little bit faster chatting now, but I can also see what I'm doing, which kind of helps. Yeah, and of course, as my usual habit, I don't believe in random Monday holidays. I could do 1 yardage sleeve each arm and use the techniques for the whole arm. You are a bad influence. Fortunately, I have enough fabric in my stash for that design. Bad influence, but also not causing me financial damage. I can shop my stash for that, because I can. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, for the whole, yeah, I could. That's like some of the pictures from that fabric manipulation book we looked at a couple weeks ago. Yes. Maybe should, of course, the answer is of course. We will, either today, at some, we will revisit that book and see if there is a look that we'd like to recreate with our own little spin on it. Because it doesn't need to be a faithful reproduction. But that would be glorious. If we're going to have that much busy excitement on the sleeve, I almost said busyness, it's not, it's just excitement. Should that be the only smocking fabric manipulation detail, or do we also need something for the shaping to like nip in the waist? Or we could have it all flowy but do a coordinated Swiss waist kind of a thing and make it an accessory. Oh, Constance was bad to me. Lace Elizabeth. Oh yes, Lace Elizabethan frill collars. Just saying, you're not the only one. Oh, it happens. It's alright. I'll take it. fabric and the amounts that I need, and then some. Well, then should we make those giant puffy sleeves? Should we make that one just a shirt and then do a pair of nice trousers, or do we want another dress? Or do we want to just make it a whole collection? And the answer is both, please. Alright, fine. Twist my arm. Are we at some point gonna design and create a smocked collection? I think maybe so. Oh my gosh. I think that sounds like fun. Alright, twist my arm farther, folks. Because I'm also, oh, I've got my sketchbook. It has to be a jacket. Alright. Jacket for a shirtwaist and skirt or pants, trousers. Oh, really, the shirt doesn't work well being without the structure of the thicker cloth. Fair. Yes. Oh, speaking of fabric manipulation with thicker cloth, I was fed in the algorithms Dibsbury Studio. I think that's her channel. Shirt with Swiss waist. Alright, let me get my... Let me get my notebook so I can jot these. I jot these down. Then we just have to think of the bottom. Are we having a skirt or a full-length dress or a shirt and trousers? Giant smock. No, giant is with a G and not a J. That pen is dumb. Skirt with Swiss waist. Okay. Oh, I read shirt, and maybe you said skirt. Skirt with Swiss waist. Alright. My brain was switching out letters so helpfully. Giant. Well, if the jacket is going to be the showpiece. So that's like jacket. Just, ooh. Let's see. What treasures? Oh! Oh, because I can highlight them on screen and... Oh. Studio, what did I do? Okay, let me toggle. What's happening? Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Yup. This adorable Swiss waist. It looks nice, and if mistakes are made, easy to cover up with the waist. Absolutely. Let me pull that picture up. How? There we go. And screen share it over here. This one. Share. Yes, this Is it sharing? No, because I'm not presentation. There we go. Yes. Oh. Oh, those big swapped architectural sleeves that are going to be ginormous. But yeah, that Swiss waist is a savior. Just nips everything in, and I do enjoy this silhouette. And we're always looking for creative ways to hide things.
What are you doing?
I know you're mad that you're not outside, but we couldn't start the show, you boys wanting snacks, and have dirty feet all over in the studio. We just could not have that. Not acceptable, dude. Alright. Yeah, you watch that Blue Jay outside. Ow. Okay, right. Why did I choose to put you up here knowing that you were gonna beat me with your tail? Don't beat me. Okay, actually, that I can deal with. Please don't chew the mic stand, dude. Okay. Our entertainment section. I thought I tried to lose the thread in the magnetic pin cushion so helpfully. So hopeful, so helpful. Alright.
Yes. Little man Ellie says hello. Hello.
I know, you just had snacks and it's a whole hour before dinner time. Don't be looking at me like you're hungry. Yeah. Alright, good work, team. One random pen. Oh, Allie, if it's not the kitty's fault, the tail is different being, and that boning is gone. No plastic, no mic is the next best thing. Fair. Exactly. He loves the sound of crinkly paper things. Like, I think the year that he lived, that formative year he lived on the street, he learned that frequently things that were crinkly, papery, fast food wrapper sounding may or may not have some extra snackies in there. To which he said, I'm hungry and like snackies. Okay, that. And it's pretty easy. I also like that the wrong side looks interesting. Oh, because there's that other smocking pattern that looks like vertebra, and that would be super fun just as the chain down the back with just a little bit. I guess if floppy boobs aren't really an issue, and that halter neck doesn't need to do anything, with that back detail would be super cute. He very well could be, or cleaning his teeth. Maybe. Because you're so smart. Oh, of course. Should I leave my measuring tape in the other room? 2 rows, just about did. I have some extra that if I need to, I can do the last like 5 dots, but I'm gonna wait and double check the measure after these rows are done, aka drape it on myself, because my mannequin was adjustable and fell over one too many times until she decided she didn't feel like working anymore and stopped. Okay. And this pattern is nice once you, because it's just a two row repeat. So, you know, you're gonna skip a space and then restitch in the same column. Those are the words. And, okay, chillax, where are we all knotted up? We are tied up in knots. Am I on the right side or the wrong side? What is happening? This is the wrong side. Okay. Let me just untrim this knot because I tried to sink it on the wrong side. Add a bead, it wouldn't matter, but just in case. Oh, we got extra knots. Alright, you can go too. You're no longer welcome. Thank you. Carry on. Alright. Do I have anything fun else to complain about today? Let's see here. We did the weather. Oh, the subversive crafting, manufacturing. That, oh god. Yep. So sexist, that manufacturing. Yeah. Okay. But whatevs. At least doing your part, carrying on, learning things, and remembering how to do and to make things, because it was really interesting listening to a round table and the agreement with a sentiment that I've had for a long time of just, let's make trade schools great again, because we said that those weren't good, important things, but those kind of are some of the most important things to know how to be able to do. Because if my job could just be sewing, I wouldn't go back now and go to school. I would just continue to learn and refine my skills. You don't need to go to school to sew. Sometimes we have amazing folks like Ellie to come and guide us in the right direction. Or we have Mr. Singer's instructions for art embroidery, which, oh man. My thread must be too long because I keep getting knots in it. Alright, now to sort of cut a slightly shorter length of thread. What? Oh, every time, not every time, frequently. Exactly, Ellie, we can't make things without trade schools. It's so true. And that's the other thing that the folk chaps were talking about was they just want, and not all the words made sense to me, but I will paraphrase to the best of my ability, a no-frills V8 pickup truck that doesn't do anything fancy, no lifts, no like giant cabs, just like a truck that does made for truck things. I was like, yeah, that would be nice. Like with real metal and real hitch pieces and the front attachment chain thingies to do a truck for doing truck things. I know, wiring still needs to happen, plumbing still needs to happen, all of these very basic but difficult and not necessarily even difficult, just requires some knowledge and experience. Some things are easy. Oh, I know, that's what they were saying. They're like, they just wanted to go back in time and get the trucks of yore. Yeah, because these big things, like, they're just too big for the jobs that many folks who want and/or own trucks need to do. People at second. But maybe it won't. It's also amusing to me how I feel bad for folks who are so caught up in things on all the sides that they don't see anything different. And that's not generally a helpful place to be. I've not found that to be the most helpful place to work from. So. And yeah, it also tangent, sewing, random things. I didn't even realize, because I don't generally purchase patterns, and as a result of not generally using patterns, I'm not sure what to do with some of the patterns I have, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, but my brain is like, but you might. You should keep it. But I'm like, am I really going to? So they just stay. So I don't know what to do. But come back to the ring, Phoenix. AI generated patterns and finished garment images. I must have not realized it was happening, but I hadn't really thought about it. So I was like, oh right, they probably, if everything was just generated, they probably didn't do size sample mock-ups and really tested the grading of said patterns and this, that, and the other thing. I was like, oh, I guess it's just as well I don't. So for the patterns I have, I just make my own. But I also got to the point realizing that every bottom garment was going to be too long and I was going to have to adjust it anyway. I just got frustrated. I'm like, why am I going to spend money on something that is really not going to fit right out of the gate? Sometimes the shaping gets affected. It's not like on pants, you can't just... The amount I frequently need to bring them up is so much that it changes the whole taper of the leg sometimes. Just too much work. So I don't. And now sometimes I've just been lazy. I'll take my measurements and don't even use my paper patterns. If it's something super straightforward. I like just mark it with chalk on the fabric and just cut it out. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. But I realize that's brazen, possibly, and I wasn't that comfortable necessarily when I first started, but now in retrospect, that was a long time ago now. We've been doing these things for a hot minute. I know, do I put my tea closer to the sewing machine or closer to the keyboard of the computer? Apparently above either. Alright, we are well on our way to row 3. No, well, never mind. We are, whoever it was on the wrong side again. But yeah, if anybody's going to redo this pattern, highly recommend every other row of your dots to be a different color. Much easier for my brain. Oh, and Ellie, do you have a recipe for the embroidery transfer paste that they used to use? Is it really just watered down white glue with shaved tailor's chalk into it? I don't know. If you're still here, or if anybody happens to know, I'm consulting every audience I can think of where that question, or the words in that question might make any sense to someone. Or if somebody happens to know Portuguese and could, if I found that video, because I saw the auntie make it in Brazil. Oh, am I cutting? Okay, I need to be more careful. I'm cutting my strip thread all higgly-piggly, and that is not alright, let's lay this down. Oh, not paste. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't fosh yourself over it. I was just like, who might possibly A, know what I'm talking about, and B, possibly have an idea. Because I don't understand. What type of thing that they were doing, that they were using the white glue, but that just seems weird. Oh, that honeycomb detail starting to make itself more apparent with the third row. It'll probably be even better if I take a minute to finagle the poofs just right with my fingers. You know, they used to have dot patterns and pounce. Yes, I was seeing that too. And for the pounce, is it just like a little muslin that is filled with the powder? Because I was thinking I've got some of the 8.5 by 11 like clear pocket things. I was like, oh, I could prick those and pounce over that to make a reusable pattern. But yeah, I don't know why I'm so curious about this paste. Of course I have to be like, why am I intrigued by the one thing that really is not common here on this continent. Because then I was looking at or different places for the chalk powder or some other. I was like, I don't need a 1 pound. I don't need 1 pound of chalk powder right now. I just need like little to get started. Yes, muslin loose weave with the chalk inside. Alright, I can do that. Maybe I will see what I have, or just get a couple of new ones to completely grind up. Or see at the local store if they've got some chalk powder. Because I know they've got like the pens and stuff, but that seems, in my brain, makes way more sense for transferring markings for garments. Oh, now you're interested in the paste. Perfect, good. Because I was like, oh, if I don't know, I'll just query, and then maybe somebody will, between the power of knowledge and contacts, like maybe, oh, they have little things for chalk line markers at Lowe's. Oh, that's probably a way better price than going to the fabric store. Ooh, neat. Oh, okay, good. All right, I'll have to take a quick gander. I remember in school when they used to have the 5-pronged ones for making, in music class, for drawing all the notes on too. But yeah, I don't need to pay the crafting tax. Minus everything more if it's marketed for sewing and crafting. It's not necessary. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, I saw it. It was in that Vaughn's embroidery shop book. I was like, oh, but yeah, I have to figure out, what is it, MIA is the Brazilian auntie who does machine embroidery on her treadle. Actually, here, let me knock this off and see if I can pull up that video real quick, because I think she goes through the recipe. Maybe there are powers of linguistics. I'll figure out this recipe that she uses. She just keeps it in a jar and then just gets like a sponge and has the cellophane, the clear things, and just wipes it on, and then it just marks the fabric for the pillowcases or tablecloths or whatever it is she's working on that day. Okay, I took all the time to thread it just to sink it, to trim it. No, I need one more knot. Alright, let me toggle over there real fast. I know, thanks everybody for hanging out with me for the whole first hour. We are almost 3 rows done into our smocking on this piece of fabric, which is going to be the front of what was supposed to be our Valentine's dress. So I will cut the center so that it's open and gathered. We'll do some rolled hems when we get there. A little of this, a little of that. Just getting our feet wet with smocking. Because I've tried a little bit of just a little sampler thing, but not yet. That's gonna take me too long. All right. My bobbin too while we're at it. I'll look for that and see if I can pull it up for next week, because I recall watching her make it, get the ingredients. Because it's not going to be the best use of our time together. I try to go down the rabbit hole searching for it. Okay, so I'm not going to cut too much off. I'm trying to do good practice. You thread your needle before you thread from the spool. You're going in the right direction. Is the right direction. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, I'm frozen. Nope. You looked frozen. Okay. Oh, maybe that's when I was staring at the monitor, trying to look for that YouTube video. It's a good thing the camera was just up, because I was sitting there with my mouth open and that, like, oh, what is it, kind of a face that not really attractive. Yeah. I spared you, you just didn't realize it. Okay. Readjust on my stool here. Oh, Allie, I have newt three-toed slime chalk and the dew of a nightshade in the full moon. Yes. And we have to mix it together in a lady's mantle leaf. I know, it's this like random rabbit hole, but I think in my head, if we can find the recipe for this paste, it's going to be far superior because it's going to dry and not rub off as easily as the chalk is going to. We just need to get the recipe. We just need to find it. I'll be on the lookout this week for it. Alright, where can I... And I don't need this long, because this is the 60... What is... Oh no, this is 120 width fabric. It's a big piece. I even I just looked randomly. I was like, oh, Mood's having their mystery 10 pounds of mystery fabric sale. But I was like, shipping 50 pounds of fabric from New York, I don't feel like paying that shipping, and I am not in the mood. I'm in want, but I'm not in need. So I'm going to fill that by continuing to make new things. Alright, this fabric is just floating. It's like water in my hands. It's like hoping I'm like, is there a right and a wrong side? And I do it. And it's basically the same, so I was like, stop worrying. That also reminds me, you have to get the recipe for fish glue for shoes and old books. Yes, that is also another important recipe for posterity's sake. Old fish. So is that one of those that you just take the... I'm imagining fish bones and heads and the gelatinous-y sections boiled for some period of time. And I imagine everything smelling like fish. Not for the unfishianados. That was a really bad joke. But yeah, I know somebody is selling a cobbler's toolbox for $80, and there is still for $2,300 the set of milliner's hat forms. But that, I don't know if that's a good price, and I don't have a place to put that, nor I don't think that's a rabbit hole I want to delve into, and that's okay. It's enough that we got that tambour embroidery frame, and we have not really tried it out yet. But maybe after we finish the embroidery book, we will spend a week or two with the tambour embroidery. See if we can make some little details for whatever schmata it decides to be a part of. I know. Oh, it depends on the forms and the cobbler's tools. Fair. Okay. Let's see if I can pull up some pictures. What do they have in this kit here? Let's see here. Problem is the listers might be flippers and are just guessing, and generally what those items are. That is also a very high likelihood. No, not appliances. I want antiques. And above, please. Oh. This has got some lasts and hammers and some thingies. Oh, it's not focusing. Oh, we're just getting a reflection. No, I'm doing a terrible job. But the metal lasts. Wooden lasts. Almost different. One of these things. Old. Oh, boxes with old nails. Drop forged. Oh, drop forged Sears Roebuck tool. Roebuck rubber. I think I might have some of that glue. Hey Jess, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How are your quilting adventures going? Any fun projects on the machines? Oh, those hats. Yes, today we have fabric manipulation. And I kind of laughed at myself. I was like, oh, it's Valentine's Day and we're going to be manipulated by fabric. Aren't we cheeky? Yeah, 23 vintage aluminum millinery hat forms and hat forms. 21 marked. 6.18 to 7.58, 2 unmarked. A lot of steam holes. Just tubes. Nothing. Oh, yeah. Oh, that stupid adulting thing that's just so stressful. Yeah, that's on the docket, just not today. I have to make sure I have all the things to do it. I've been collecting things for like 5 weeks now. Well, good job doing those adulting things that are super sucky. Sorry, I can't even serenade with the sweet sound of the sewing machine as we are hand smocking. Where did I? There's. Collecting all the little crochet cotton balls I have. Like 3 out of the whatever had needle sticking in it. I'm like, oh, I just got this needle, I don't know where to stick it. I'll just stick it in with the other thread. Isn't that where it just belongs there, right? Those are not lasts. Lasts are made of wood for the upper to be stretched over. Okay, good. Not. Alright. Thanks for explaining to me things, and another bad purchase averted. Which is brilliant. Oh, so is this honeycomb tech. I am in love with this. Turning out just the way I'd hoped it would. It's true, Allie. Just when it's done, it's done. Which is always good. It's just the getting to the end that just feels painful. Maybe that can be another thing that just gets simplified. We need needle to make a needle tomato. I have a needle tomato and I still forget to use it. I got a lot of stuff. And is it true that the little strawberry at the end has some little sharpening stuff in there so that everything doesn't get dull? I was afraid when I put my needles in there that I'm going to get them lost in the middle for some reason. But I did find my little old wooden needle holder that used to be suitable for White Rotary, Singer, New Home, and Davis. The letters are starting to get smushed off a little bit. 62, 30 to 80 cotton. But I don't think the needles in there are not original. And so I need... Oh no. Alright. Sticking in this strawberry so I know where you are. Have a machine. Bailey's got a new machine called Vonzer C from 1887. It has a pleater attachment, but it's missing from the machine. I'm gonna need to take a picture so I can see if I can find this. Did you get the Davis vertical feed up on your Flickr? Or you're behind? I shouldn't pressure you for things. Oh, you have it. I was just gonna say, I've been hearing about this Davis. I'm still waiting for pictures of this beauty. Where's the pictures? That was helpful. Alright, I will make sure to stick my thread in the strawberry so I don't lose it while I'm trimming. Oh, I haven't cut the bottom for the hems. I figured I'd do the smocking part that all everything before I cut anything. And I always make adjustments afterwards, but finishing shaping. Not yet. Okay. That's alright. Don't let me pressure you into getting pictures of. I know. What was it? Was it the Gucci collection from Spring Summer 25 that they were trying to bring back an updated version of panniers? I was like, oh yeah, they're super cute, but so, like, what fancy ball am I gonna get to go to that I'm like, I have an excuse to make myself panniers and have a meter and a half radius, or in one dimension, and not be able to fit through doors because your hips are so big that you have to like walk through sideways. It wouldn't fit in my closet. But it would be so ridiculous to wear once. But getting lost in too many rabbit holes. We have the Smocking collection to work on. We have the lace collection to design and work on. Also, the leather we need to cut for simple, just cut it and add some lacing holes and be done projects. Maybe we need a quick gratification project. Yes, we need to sew a quick slip for this. But I think I've had cut out and I haven't stitched yet, so. Yeah, it can be a one-show wonder. This is not painfully slow process, but also not super fast. Oh, Allie, a couple houses were making that sort of thing last year and this. That's funny. I love how, like, everything goes back to the old references. It seems that, what is it, Anna Sui? Her Spring Summer 25 was very 1940s reminiscent. I haven't started to look yet for the fall winter 25-26 yet from New York. Imagine the side pockets you could install. I see when folks have made pockets big enough that you could fit like an entire Magna in one of those. I I'm not a pocket person. I'm alright to say I'm comfortable and sure enough in myself and what I like and dislike in garments. Okay, sometimes a pocket, but most of the time a pocket is not a mandatory for me. Then I could fit huge pockets. I could fit like an entire bird cage and then pull it out with the bird in there. That would be funny. And kind of if I'm gonna make something that huge and crazy, I've seen a couple of skirts that have in essence like a hula hoop and then kind of like this shaping but in a huge scale. Oh, Allie, a gallon bottle on each side. Come on, get that party started right. Right now it ended up just being bubbly tea for me, but I could go through 2 gallons of bubbly tea and be comfortable and be contented. Who needed the party favors? Your hostess has arrived. Get them shooter girls. Right? Right. Oh, the perfect answer to a cash bar and EAs. They just were like fit into my pocket. What a weird segue brain. Now you want an oyster shooter, but we don't have any oysters. Actually, that's not... Never mind. Maybe we will have oyster shooters later. No, we're eating leftovers. Because I baked bread and it was so... Oh, I think we found... We're almost getting the secret to our sourdough with this new recipe. Preheat everything to 500 degrees, including the Dutch oven. What I don't love is that the bottom crust, because the pan is so hot at the bottom, it's a little too hard. So I'm not sure if I need to put the bread on something so I can have a little bit of water in there so it like steams just a smidgers. Because it's just cooking the bottom a little too much, but we'll figure it out. It's completely edible, which is the most important part. And the crumb is so nice, just all fluffy and soft. Oh. Yeah, learn how to be baking. We do stuff. We're subversive because we're sharing how to do stuff. We can ask questions if we don't know how to do something. There's all sorts of stuff I don't know how to do. Some stuff I used to know, but need to practice. Just though, that was funny. I don't know if I was still on air. When I did it, I practiced a 2-instrument surgeon's knot, so that was fun. Let's see here, Allie. What about using cornmeal at the bottom of the bread pan? Oh, I forgot to add cornmeal. I'll try that. Yeah, it just needs a little like, because the recipe that we've been using, it says preheat the oven and the Dutch oven to 500 degrees, put the bread on a parchment paper and set that in the Dutch oven and cook it with the lid closed we did 40 minutes because we liked it better. Brush off the toasted cornmeal. I will try that next. I think I did my knots. I forgot. I'll do one quick knot on the back just to make sure. We will try that next. Because yeah, the recipes for a while, or we tried, it said to do 20 minutes with the lid on and then another 20 with the lid off. But the outer crust got just too tough. It's too crunchy, and I like it a little crunchy, but also a little soft. Don't want to break your teeth on your homemade bread. That keeps it off. Oh, I do not have an insert for the Dutch oven that fits. I have to go back and look if I can find a little metal tray. Because yeah, I think that would help too, to just have it up off the bottom and just like the tiniest bit of water so that it more steams on the inside to make it a nice chewier crust rather than that like super crunchy. I'll keep my eyes open. Actually, I'll take the measurements of my Dutch oven. Yeah, see if we just pinch them. Just give the plates a little zhuzhing with our fingers, and maybe we'll spray it with water. Am I saying these words out loud? I'm gonna spritz it and then just hold the iron over it after I've made it all pretty with my fingers. I think would be really nice. I can't believe I just said I'm gonna press for the fun of it, but can't take it back now. Just look for a Dutch oven internal trivet. Ah, those are the words. No, I'm being good. Put it in your tool. There it goes. Oh, those are cute. Okay. I can do that. What are they, even at the Grange? $15. Alright, that looked like a very worthwhile investment of $15 for a tool that... Oh my gosh, but the last time I looked at bread, it was $7 a loaf, so that is... that one tool is worth 2 loaves of bread, and will make our homemade breads even yummier, so thank you, Allie. I am totally super good. I know this is kind of slow. No, we're coming along nicely. I am glad I did a little bit before the show started. So we're almost a third of the way done. But that also means we'll probably have another 2.5, 3 hours to get all the smocking done. And then we'll look at our we'll figure it out. It's okay to not know right now. The gremlins are talking. Hello, stomach gremlins. Oh, I hope there's water in the... We have this man-made lake reservoir, and for a while they were stocking it with fish, but then there was a few years where the water levels were so low that they didn't bother stocking it, so you have to travel up into the mountains for the fresh mountain lake trout. Oh, sorry for swallowing in the microphone. Alright. I know it is kind of confusing to keep the horizontal row organized. But there's where we've got the 3. I keep showing it up because I'm like, oh, it looks so cool. Then part of my brain is like, Phoenix, you're spending all the time doing this one detail. What if you don't like the dress? And I'm gonna wear it anyway. And then the other part of me is creeping and saying, if you make it and you don't love it, it's alright to pass it on. Just because I made it doesn't mean I have to keep it if I don't love it. And that's another thing I kind of have a hard time with. If I hate it, then I'm like, I did it. It's okay. I think I'm really gonna like this dress. Something like I've never had before. Also, with this material being this sheer, I couldn't complain about Kanye's wife's little skin tight see-through dress. Though I will probably, for the sake of being on camera, I will have a slip. If you're lucky, maybe on, I don't know. I shouldn't tease things I'm not gonna do. Or maybe I will. I don't know yet. We're done. Oh, Allie, that's right. You can always unpick it all. Exactly. Right. If I don't like it, I will just, yeah. Oh, exactly. So when I was like organizing my scraps, I've got some of like the embroidery practice pieces that just look super terrible. So I've got those for either strip quilting or I took, okay, I gotta stand up for a second. Oh no. I have a whole box of cut up scraps and the white tulle with pink flannel circle skirt a little bit more. So I was going to, I think I was going either stuff a little bit and then pin it or put in a whole bunch of safety pins to mark the little grid and then start to stuff in the stuffing so that it doesn't get too chunky in any one area. I think I was just gonna do like a little square grid on it. So we do enjoy making new fabrics out of old fabrics around here. Which is also why I have a problem getting rid of scraps. I'm like, no, you could use that. And after a while, if it's little enough and falls on the floor, if it doesn't make it to the box, I'm like, it's okay to throw that in the trash. It really is okay. You have enough scraps. You will be making more scraps. I can guarantee it. But I did, it was a little work. I tried to use my rotary cutter on the mat to cut the little pieces up smaller, and I didn't enjoy that, so not that the scissors treated my thumb any better, but we've got enough to start to do some mindless straight line stitching. And we've got that project, our snowflake skirt to finish, where we have some mindless squiggly line stitching. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I keep teasing Dove. He has got his morning alarm set to the opening music for Peanuts, the Christmas movie. Oh, bless you, Dove. I heard that. Oh, bless you. Here, let me yell. Dove says thank you. Yeah, is it? But I've got my mic plugged in to my video capture card, running through the OBS. Plus, did I get the straight video? I added some things that they had a background noise cancellation, which I needed to make sure that I shut off. But today's not such a huge deal. Background. Now that's funny how good the... Alright, I'm assuming that things are plugged into the right places. But that was an impressively loud sneeze. You were right, Allie. That's easy mix sneezer sent over there. And I'll make sure, I'll stop. I know Will's been started his show, added a new slot at 6 o'clock, so I won't keep ya. But I still got an hour. I had a little time left. Alright, let's see how much more we can plow through this. I know, is there anything else on my list that was like fun to complain about? Oh, that! I was trying to come up with a good punny. So with all the bird flu and all the different issues that are causing the egg shortages, I heard of at least 2 different egg nappings. Was the one on the East Coast, 100,000 eggs that valued it over at approximately $40,000, and then there was another one at a restaurant up in Seattle that they were getting their delivery and somebody egg nabbed them. Those hot commodities. I wish we'd been all set up for a little flock, but it's kind of, I guess not tricky, you just need to make sure that when we are ready for that, the coop is super secure, because there are raccoons, possums, and foxes in the neighborhood. Those foxes are sly. I saw them just a couple times a few years ago, but I have a source that tells me there's foxes not that far away. There's a sneaky not in my yard all the time. But if I have chickens, that would probably track them. More undies. No. Today we are working on smocking for a dress. Hey, Horror, how are you doing? Oh man. Sorry about your show. I bring the bad luck, because my show yesterday morning ended in an utter disaster. This is our fancy party dress. This is the front, the under the bust section. Every once in a while I do sew an outer garment. Towards the end of the stream, it didn't kick me out. My camera stopped working in studio, my audio cut out, and it just had my background picture. It just like froze and died. And I refreshed everything in studio, and I could see myself and thought that everything was running. And then Dove comes in 10 minutes later, he's like, you've been talking to no one for 10 minutes. I was like, oh, that's cute. And it made me laugh because there was like 10 people in the audience just like staring at my empty screen. I need to check your audio. Tons of background feedback. Okay, let me turn the noise cancellation off today, or the background. David's listening to noise suppression. Audio cancellation. Alright, that should be better for today. Forgot where. Yep. I turned that on. He's got Cleveland Barnes in the other room. Oh, I think he's feeding dishes for cats. Let me know if that's marginally better. But, oh, that's great that they're picking up all the things. We should sew and see how, if the machine gets picked up as background noise. Yeah, there's always a Mrs. Oh, better, but not 100%. All right, well, I'll take that for today. It is quite noisy in my background right now. I'll tell those animals in the other room to be quiet. That was the rest of your Sunday horror. Way better. Awesome. All right. Thanks, folks. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do a test towards the end. I'll do some sewing and we'll try sewing with the noise suppression or without to see which is best for the machine. But, Canada's welcoming each other. Good job, my friends in the Great White North. I know, I've heard people talking about wanting to flee an attempt to claim political asylum somewhere else, but nobody's mentioned Canada yet. I've heard Mexico, Italy, and Scotland. I can't believe no one got Oprah. I know. Once you said it, I was like, oh, that makes complete sense. I think the guess for Whoopi got into my head and I couldn't unsee that one. Most Americans think we are a communist country. I don't think that. But I don't. Not fully. I think that's why some folks are thinking that they want to go there, but I think they might be disappointed. Oh yeah, speaking of weird people who need to flee, I don't understand. I've heard of two now. These women who are on every type of public assistance completely available to them. One of them has been driving around until relatively recently in a 2024 BMW, and the other one, I think, was in a 25 Benz. I was like, that math is not mathing for me. I don't get it. That math just doesn't math. Is TikTok really paying them that much, or where else are they skimming? Tons of money. Yes, it does seem to be quite lucrative for tons of money and lying to the government. Yeah. I just can't be that malicious. The welfare queens have made a lot of money. Yes, they have. But they're getting a hard year this year. The one chick had like 4 baby daddies over 6 kids. And they're all disabled. I can stay in a place in Canada and become a U.S. citizen in a matter of time, right? Just yeah, and I'll put it on the record. I do not want Canada to become the 51st state. I value your Canadian culture. I want you to be able to hold that dear. I don't want, you shouldn't become Americans. We don't want to absolve you. I want Canadian culture to continue to be great. You don't have to be American. Just be great Canadians. Yeah. Trump was just yapping, would never have it. I don't think it's going to either. I think he's using that style of negotiation where you press to arguably the absurd and knowing that you're going to end up meeting somewhere in the middle, because you're not really going to. You don't really expect that to happen. Though getting a handle on the Panama Canal, I think that was something that really did need to happen. Though if we keep having issues with our boats, that's gonna be funny, because it seems like we're damaging our own boats, and I've heard that just don't fuck with our boats, but if we're shooting down our own planes off of from our own carriers, something is not. That's another place the map isn't mapping quite right. Allie. Oh, the map would look so weird if that happened. U.S. have to combine it, and South Dakota and Carolina, etc., into larger states. It would look funny. I know everything would have to equal the size. No, are we gonna make it bigger or just go by population density? Because I can see an argument for once a territory reaches 1 million people that maybe we should make more counties. He did piss off some of the proud Canadian patriots. I'm sure he did. And he's got many Americans thinking he's just batshit crazy. Allie, to make it look okay on the map, and Pennsatucky and that tri-state area. I know they'll be so little. You're like, hey, I'm Canada, and you're like, those little states are like the fleas on my back. Those are the fleas on my fanny. You're so little. Yeah. But I heard that if a parent is the one paying child support, they're going to be the ones to be able to claim the child tax credit this year. So all the mamas who are collecting, typically the mothers, because the whole family court system is pretty effed up around here. We're like, what do you mean I'm not going to get that tax credit? They're like, that's the only money just the ridiculousness. Pennsatucky is a great name for a state. I agree. Pennsatucky. I've heard worse. Definitely heard worse. Go through my Rolodex of things. Oh, Ellie, you hate to say it, but if Canada doesn't fix the border, it might be necessary. Yeah. Oh, right, because there was the driver who brought over a whole bunch of Southeast Asian folks across the Canadian border into the U.S. That is not cool either. Or the welfare queens already make a ton of cash, and they mostly blow it. Yeah, I'm sure they blow it in all the ways that they possibly can. Expensive cars, oh my god! The ports are a clear security risk. The worst, yes, the amount of cargo and different things. I'll circle back. Let's see here. Horror. You asked a guy how many kids are being born just for the welfare check. He guessed 50%. That doesn't surprise me in those circles. Texarkana is worse. Yeah, Texarkana, that is a weird one. But some of the lieutenant colonels that I listened to were hypothesizing that when the drones were kicking off, this was kind of in the area of Trump's New Jersey property, that after it had left the port, that there was possibly have been some unaccounted for nuclear materials, because they can't scan all of the shipping cargo, so they monitored the traces of it. They were like, something was here, we don't have it anymore, but maybe we should be going out and looking for it, because you might want to keep track of that one. Yeah, it's a nightmare, which is another good reason for the argument for the tariffs. If less is going to be coming in, then they'll have better allotment of their resources to use the smaller volume for better security. And let's just make stuff again. Let's teach people how to make things. I'll continue to be on this mission. If crafting is activism, then I am here to help make sure that folks know how to do some stuff. Can't do everything. But accidentally, sometimes we learn a thing or two around here. Purely by accident. Let's see this row. I'm like a little bit off of my peachy dots were, but it'll be okay. Here we go. I use little peach and purple. Oh, yeah, like right, that could be from the fire detectors or a bad item. Right. Yeah, so there's all sorts of ways stuff can be weird. If you've only got so much manpower versus the excessive volume. We'll see. I think everything... I also just don't like this feeling still that it hasn't shook out of my brain, although it doesn't help that I am hearing sources that kind of reaffirms it, that summer might not be... These might be weird. I don't like hearing people talking about raising... all this stuff. Oh, but there's going to be another giant protest tomorrow on our Monday holiday President's Day, trying to fight fascism. Okay, I'm working, and that sounds like a crowd of folks that I just not interested in being in large crowds like that. No thanks. One, two, three. I can do one more, and then we'll be on to row 4. Oh, there are auto scanners. We just don't get them. Yes, I have heard that too. And I've heard that we have the auto scanners, but then also that there's so much that they still can't. Even with the auto scanners, that more often than not, they find the traces of it after the shipping container left the scanner section, rather than while it's acutely present. I can imagine it. I remember being at the Port of Seattle and seeing the boats come and all the cargo container, just like unimaginable amounts. So much. Oh, now I just want to dream about being at the coast again. Can I get a little beach cottage at the ocean, please? It's like a comfortable walk down to the water, but raised up a little bit for tsunami risk. Just a wee bit. Because I'm kind of scared of tsunamis. I think hearing long enough about sneaker waves, it just makes me a little cautious. Right, we are about to commence row 4 of 10. We get all the smocking done? I don't know. Well, eventually we will. The answer is yes. We will get this done. Because the rest of the garment construction for this dress is going to be pretty simple. The other thing that could be a little bit time consuming is if we add some sparkly beads to the center of the honeycomb pattern, which we might do because some of the knots have to just hide some stuff. And if we decide to do something more fancy than just some quick strings of simple chunky beads for the back detail. Also, it's like we could count how many beads we are going to need so I can have them pulled and know that we're not going to run short halfway through the project. It's like, Phoenix, who are you? I'm going to count how many beads? I think I am, folks. I think I'm really going to do it. Yes, I am kind of hooked on fabric manipulation techniques. I've also been seeing other ones where they pleat, so I've got a reason to have Revenge of the Tucker to make the tucks and fold them so that they're like wavy looking, or do it somehow where they've got 2 different fabrics on each side. I've got lots of options. Oh, Allie, you watched a workshop a while back where they set beads in as they pleated. Yeah, oh, that sounds fun. Come on up, sweet boy. Do you? That sounds fun. I know, if I was thinking, I was like, I need to stop using, like, I had contemplated, right, it is going to hide all of any issues, which is why I think I'm going to do it, because there's a couple spots where the thread's a little, like, looped too much. Oh, Loki, I thought, okay, I thought he was going to come and hang out with me. If I had dug them out before the show, I thought it would have been faster if I had just done that step while I was doing the smocking detail rather than doing this step and then attaching the beads separate. I think that way it does sound at least 50% faster, but I didn't get that far in my preparations. But should we? Okay, let me set this here. Let me rustle around and let me grab some of our bead containers so that we can start looking at what we might want to do. So we can have some group collaboration time. Okay, chaos is here. I didn't drag all of the beads. Here. Oh, these are fun. I have these like little teardrops. I have some sparkly teardrops. I don't think I have enough of all of those. We could mix that with something. That's the lily contender in that box. This hodgepodge. Nothing in here, mostly stones for cute things, just not for this project. Next. We have these garnets. Don't count your beads before the plan is hatched. You might not have enough. Exactly. That's why I didn't do it all in one fell swoop, Ellie. Because wasn't sure. These like probably garnets. Maybe, but they're kind of heavy, and this fabric is so floaty and ethereal. Also, we do have all those sequins that we got last year. Was that 2 years ago? No, already. Here's just random seed beads. Some other sequins. Yeah, gold sequins. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to go through everything and look and see. Red seed beads, red bugle beads, mixed bugle beads, red seed beads with white bugle beads. Like a tube of like sky blue. For this project. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure, so I'm glad that I'm not fully committed to anything yet. Right now we have to get the smocking done before we can even begin to think about what other ornamentation we're going to want. Or none. And we'll save that for the next project. Did I lose my thimble in a bead box? Maybe. Oh, it's in the chaos somewhere. I tend to try, but then it just looks like did I even... Oh, so smart. I stuck my thimble on top of my spool pin so I wouldn't lose it. Look at that, Phoenix thinking she knows how to do something every once in a while. But yeah, I'm confused by folks who may or may not have like mules of disposable savings, thinking that they're gonna be able to get a tourist visa and then apply for political asylum. Because I thought with tourist visas, that meant in a lot of places you can't work. But if you're needing to sustain yourself, then you're... I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah, as much as I gripe about where I am, we're here in this town, and we're just gonna continue to stick it out. Alright, let's at least get this next row done because we're being so manipulated by the fabric. Or are we being manipulating to the fabric? I guess the answer is yes. I think too, if there was one of these details, we used a different stitch pattern, if there was something like that you always made a square out of the same section of the pattern, I'd probably do big repeat sections of the same color so that your brain is like, oh, I know what I need to do. Oh, Allie, why waste the cash and go there when it's going to just get invade anyways? Exactly right. I know. I was like, I'm just here, and I'm like, all right, you're gonna go, fine. Just it'll make a little bit more water for everybody else here. And with the way that the plane crashes have been going, I really gonna have to talk myself up to when I get on the airplane. But to take the train anywhere is also a challenge because I don't manage the rail lines like they used to. Oh, there was some. Oh, right. Thinking of flying, there was a huge black helicopter that landed. I don't know if it was at the airport. It's like, oh, so loud, so close. Because it was too. I can't imagine them being that low and then making it over to the Air Force Base. Oh, what do I know? Not much. I do know that I am hooked on this smocking technique, though. We'll just like floof it nicely. Oh, Canadians don't quite get this yet. Yeah, because it seems so much like it seems sad to me. Going back to thinking about like Canadian culture with the amount of immigrants like who are there but don't want to participate really in Canadian culture. How you're just kind of getting diluted out, and that's sad to me. Because who's gonna do the booths and talk about hockey and how to tap the maple syrup trees? Remember how to say things like Saskatoon and Saskatchewan. Yeah, I don't, because Europe or the British Isles seem to be going through the same thing. Where was it? Did I see the one? Like that in some places of Ireland, there's really only a small percentage of Irish people, of the ethnic Irish actually live there. It looks better when there are more lines done. I agree. Every row we get done, it just makes it more. Oh, they just start to look like little flowers. Oh, it's just so stinking cute. I can see how folks I could get hooked for a while, like different sized grids and different details to add texture. Oh, Allie, every little town has this on that. Little Italy, little Djibouti, little Thailand, etc. Oh man, I only hear people talking about little Djibouti and when they're making jokes. And then also usually the next thing is, I really love Rhodesian brush stroke. It is not too far after talking about Djibouti. This is true. Yeah, finding that balance of keeping the good. Yeah. Yeah, my family just kind of like threw us out. They were like, you will assimilate. will blend in and you will assimilate. And we tried. We did. I think I am. For a town that's got 6 synagogues, it's really a shame that we do not have a single Jewish bakery. Except that knowing my town, it would probably have to be like the gluten-free Jewish bakery, which just sounds disgusting. Can't handle that. Just give me the real challah, please. We challah for challah around here. Alright, the jokes are just going downhill now. Yep, 4 of 6 underway. Yeah, and I agree, Ellie. Every row makes it look even nicer. And we're just doing 10 rows because I just want the smocking to add a little shaping at the waistline. And I don't even think I'm going to do any on the back because the back is going to be so low. We'll just pleat it in and then do a... Because we want it flowy, because we can't have like just an A-line skirt for this schmata. It's going to be a little bit more fuller than that. Just take my pieces and figure out what to do, but first things first, finish smocking. And Phoenix, don't cut your thread too long because then you just end up wasting it and it tries to tie itself into knots. Oh, this is color mahogany, bonded. Lot number 63. Let's not even into the triple digits of that lot yet. Alright, we're at a little wrong. Oh, we're so quiet without this. This part. There will be a machine next time on Wednesday where you can see, is there anything lost in our pile? Do we have anything unfinished? Yes, we have those stays and we have a couple of them. Wednesdays will show off what we're wearing and finish ups. Little here's and there's-y things. Maybe this dress will be what we finish on Wednesday. We'll get there. I think the Wednesday show, 3 o'clock, 2:33. I'll figure it out. 4:30 just doesn't work for me. I need that time to run around and get some movement in. Yeah, late in the day, I can't sit on my butt any longer. We'll just go for a few more minutes here. And I'm on a quest for another sewing bench. I know, see if Will streamed on Rumble, we could just raid his show. But no, he's mono-platforming himself. It's alright. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Just a little bit more for tonight, then we'll call it a show. Oh. getting lost in my cords. I'm like Spider-Woman getting tangled in all my webs right now. How dare you? Is it time to dance the tarantella? Soon. Oh, thinking this. I'll have. Okay, so next week, I will look for that video of the Brazilian granny auntie making the paste, so we can see if we can figure it out. And I think, as it's still in my head, we maybe on mute because we don't need the music. We'll watch the Armani Haute Couture collection because some of their silhouettes really excited me. And I was like, if I'm not doing the partner program, I don't need to stress about making it 3 hours 3 times a week to meet the 30. I'm not ready for it yet. I was kind of kicking around the notion of, because you could do the 5 hours to Rumble Premium as a pre-recorded premiere, to run the premiere and then a couple days later just upload it as a regular onto the YouTube. I was like, it's my content and they don't own like it. And if they did make it that you had to sign a license, or that they were licensing it, your content for the premium, then you can't tell me where I can post my stuff. So that's where I'm at with that. So we'll see. But we will be back on Wednesday. I'm not closing up shop quite yet. My brain like, yeah. I really need a new seat. I'm getting grumpy in my head and my stitches are getting all wonky. But smocking, if you haven't tried it, it seems like a really complicated technique, but I would venture to say it's actually kind of a good beginner practice technique because you are making lots of little bites and you get to practice not making. Oh, Ellie, as soon as you use their platform, it's their content. Yeah, so I'm not cool with that. We created this, it's mine. But yeah, I'm curious, I don't feel, sometimes I feel like being an early adapter for things. This is not a time where I feel like adapting early. I want to see the I want to see the waves riding in from the shore for a little while longer while I contemplate my actions. So that's what I'm going to do. I am getting hungry. Are you hearing? Is my stomach grumbling, picking up through the microphone? Because I am hearing. I'm like, oh my god. I've got some really grumpy gremlins right now. And they are. Alright. Oh, they have Edison syndrome. Edison claimed everyone else's patents and ideas. Yeah. That kind of runs into Mr. Singer's problems too. Or some of them, because there's other ones that sounds like he made some questionable choices. But I think we made good headway. I don't think I'm going to stitch anymore tonight. I need to get up and do some pooping and some exercising. But we'll finish this off, and I think on Wednesday on Wednesday, we will turn this beautiful smocked panel into a gorgeous sheer dress with at least one white slip so that we can pretend to be slightly decent if we go outside in public. But thanks everybody for hanging out with me, and we did a different kind of sewing. Don't wait till tomorrow to be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. I will be back on Wednesday. I'll see. I need to eat, so I may or may not. I'm not going to make promises. Enjoy Will's stream. I'm probably not going to be able to pop over there for too long, or if at all, but if not, I'll let everybody have a 10-minute 7th inning stretch before the next go around. You're all great. We'll look for the embroidery paste transfer. Right now I'm just yammering. Alright, I'll be back on Wednesday. Everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. And until the next time. Alright, thanks everybody. Bye!